Hello, and welcome to this little Bible series that I started. I like to call it this Bible thing that I started. I am reading the Bible in a year, but I wanted to do it in chronological order. So we are on day number 54. We are in Numbers. The last three chapters of Numbers is where we're going to be. So chapter 33 through 36. We always like to start with a little daily devotional. Today is May 30th, so we are going to start with that. All right, the title of this one is Beyond Our Faults. He felt sorry for them and healed those who were sick. Matthew chapter 14, verse 14. Matthew writes that Jesus healed their sick, not some of their sick, not the righteous among the sick, not the deserving among the sick, but the sick. Surely among the many thousands there were a few people unworthy of good health. The same divinity that gave Jesus the power to heal also gave him the power to perceive. I wonder if Jesus was tempted to say to the bigot, "Get out of here, buddy, and take your arrogance with you." He could see not only their past, he could see their future. Undoubtedly, there were those in the multitude who would use their newfound health to hurt others. Jesus released tongues that would someday curse. He gave sight to eyes that would lust. He healed hands that would kill. Each time Jesus healed, he had to overlook the future and the past. Something, by the way, that he still does. That's true. Signed in the eye of the storm. Cool. All right, so we start with chapter 33. All right, hopefully today's a little bit easier. Yesterday put me to sleep. I had to take a break and come back because my eyes were so heavy. It was bad. All right, the title of chapter 33 is Stages in Israel's Journey. Here are the stages in the journey of the Israelites when they came out of Egypt by divisions under the leadership of Moses and Aaron. At the Lord's command, Moses recorded the stages in their journey. This is their journey by stages. The Israelites set out from Ramesses on the 15th day of the first month, the day after the Passover. They marched out boldly in full view of all the Egyptians who were burying all their firstborn, whom the Lord had struck down among them, for the Lord had brought judgment on their gods. The Israelites left Ramesses and camped at Succoth. They left Succoth and camped at Etham on the edge of the desert. They left Etham, turned back to Pi Hahiroth to the east of Baal Zephon, and camped near Migdal. They left Pi Hahiroth and passed through the sea into the desert, and when they had traveled for 3 days in the desert of Etham, they camped at Marah. They left Marah and went to Elim, where there were 12 springs and 70 palm trees, and they camped there. They left Elim and camped by the Red Sea. They left the Red Sea and camped in the desert of Sin. They left the desert of Sin and camped in Dophkah. They left Dophkah and camped in Alush. They left Alush and camped in Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. They left Rephidim and camped in the desert of Sinai. They left the desert of Sinai and camped at Kibroth Hattaavah. They left Kibroth Hattaavah and camped at Hazareth. They left Hazareth and camped at Rithmah. Left Rithmah, camped at Rimmon Perez. Left Rimmon Perez, camped at Libnah. Left Libnah, camped at Risha. Left Risha, camped at Kahilatha. They left that place and camped at Mount Sephir. They left Mount Sephir, camped at Harada. They left Harada and camped at Mekaloth. They left Mekaloth and camped at Tahath. They left Tahath, camped at Terah. They left Terah, camped at Mithkah. Left Mithkah, camped at Hashmanah. Left Hashmanah and camped at Mazeroth. Left Mazeroth, camped at Ben Jakan. Left Ben Jakan and camped at Hor Haggad, that guy there. That name there. They left Hor Haggad and camped at Jotbatha. This is almost over. All right, they left Jophbatha and camped at Abrana. They left Abrana and camped at Ezion-Geber. They left Ezion-Geber and camped at Kadesh in the desert of Zin. They left Kadesh and camped on Mount Hor on the border of Edom. At the Lord's command, Aaron the priest went to Mount Hor, where he died on the first day of the 5th month of the 40th year after the Israelites came out of Egypt. Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor. The Canaanite king of Arad, who lived in Negev of Canaan, heard that the Israelites were coming. They left Mount Hor and camped in Zalmanah They left Zalmanah and camped in Punon. They left Punon and camped in Oboth. They left Oboth and camped in Abiram. They left on the border of Moab. They left Abiram and camped in Dibon Gad. They left Dibon Gad and camped in Almon Diblathaim. They left Almon Diblathaim and camped in the mountains of Abiram near Nebo. They left the mountains of Abiram and camped on the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho. There on the plains of Moab they camped along the Jordan from Beth Jeshimoth to Abel Shittim. On the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, the Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you cross the Jordan into Canaan, drive out all the inhabitants of the land before you. Destroy all their carved images and their cast idols, and demolish all their high places. Take possession of the land and settle in it, for I have given you the land to possess. Distribute the land by lot according to your clans. To a larger group give a larger inheritance, and to a smaller group a smaller one. Whatever falls to them by lot will be theirs. Distribute it according to your ancestral tribes. But if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land, those you allow to remain will become barbs in your eyes and thorns in your sides. They will give you trouble in the land where you will live, and then I will do to you what I plan to do to them." The Lord said to Moses, "Command the Israelites and say to them, when you enter Canaan, the land that will be allotted to you as an inheritance will have these boundaries. Your southern side will include some of the desert of Zin along the border of Edom. On the east, your southern border will start from the end of the Salt Sea, cross south of Scorpion Pass, continue on to Zin, and go south of Kadesh Barnea. Then it will go to Hazar Adar and over to Asmon, where it will turn, join the Wadi of Egypt, and end at the sea. Your western boundary will be on the coast of the Great Sea. This will be your boundary on the west. For the northern boundary, run a line from the Great Sea to Mount Hor, and from Mount Hor to Lebo Hamath. Then the boundary will go to Zedad, continue to Zephron, and end at Hazar Enon. This will be the boundary on the north. For your eastern boundary, run a line from Hazar Enon to Shephem. The boundary will go down from Shephem to Riblah on the east side of Ain, and continue along the slopes east of the Sea of Kinnereth. Then the boundary will go down along the Jordan and end at the Salt Sea. This will be your land with its boundaries on every side. Moses commanded the Israelites, assign this land by lot as an inheritance. The Lord has ordered that it be given to the 9.5 tribes, because the families of the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. These 2.5 tribes have received their inheritance on the east side of the Jordan of Jericho, towards the sunrise. The Lord said to Moses, "These are the names of the men who are to assign the land for you as an inheritance: Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun, and appoint one leader from each tribe to help assign the land. These are their names." Names. If you're new here, I don't typically read the names, only because I don't want to botch them. I don't want to get them wrong. I don't want to disrespect. I will do my best, but don't hold it against me if I say them wrong. Okay. Caleb, son of Jephunneh, from the tribe of Judah. Shemuel, son of Ammihud, from the tribe of Simeon. Eldad, son of Kislon, from the tribe of Benjamin. Buki, son of Jogli, the leader of the tribe of Dan. Haniel, son of Ephod, the leader of the tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph. Kemuel, son of Shiftan, the leader from the tribe of Ephraim, son of Joseph. Elizaphan, son of Parnak, the leader from the tribe of Zebulun. Paltiel, son of Azan, the leader from the tribe of Issachar. Ahihud, son of Shalami, the leader of the tribe of Asher. Padal, son of Ammihud, the leader of the tribe of Naphtali. These are the men the Lord commanded to assign the inheritance to the Israelites in the land of Canaan. On the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, the Lord said to Moses, "Command the Israelites to give the Levites towns to live in from the inheritance the Israelites will possess, and give them pasture lands around the towns. Then they will have towns to live in and pasture lands for their cattle, flocks, and all their other livestock. The pasture lands around the towns that you give the Levites will extend out 1,500 feet from the town wall. Outside the town, measure 3,000 feet on the east side, 3,000 on the south side, 3,000 on the west, and 3,000 on the north, with the town in the center. They will have this area as pasture land for the towns. 6 of the towns you give the Levites will be cities of refuge, to which a person who has killed someone may flee. In addition, give them 42 other towns. In all, you must give the Levites 48 towns, together with their pasture lands. The towns you give the Levites from the land the Israelites possess are to be given in proportion to the inheritance of each tribe, to make towns from a tribe that has many, but few from one that has few. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you cross the Jordan into Canaan, select some towns to be your cities of refuge, to which a person who has killed someone accidentally may flee. They will be places of refuge from the avenger, so that a person accused of murder may not die before he stands trial before the assembly. These 6 towns you give will be your cities of refuge. Give 3 on this side of the Jordan and 3 in Canaan as cities of refuge. These 6 towns will be a place of refuge for the Israelites, aliens, and any other people living among them, so that anyone who has killed another accidentally can flee there. If a man strikes someone with an iron object so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. Or if anyone has a stone in his hand and that could kill, and he strikes someone so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. Or if anyone has a wooden object in his hand that could kill, and he hits someone so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall be put to death. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death. When he meets him, he shall put him to death. If anyone with malice afterthought shoves another or throws something at him intentionally so that he dies, or if in hostility he hits him with his fist so that he dies, that person shall be put to death. He is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death when he meets him. But if without hostility someone suddenly shoves another or throws something at him unintentionally, or without seeing him, drops a stone on him that could kill him and he dies, then, since he was not his enemy and he did not intend to harm him, the assembly must judge between him and the avenger of blood according to these regulations. The assembly must protect the one accused of murder from the avenger of blood and send him back to the city of refuge to which he fled. He must stay there until the death of the high priest who was anointed with the holy oil. But if the accused ever goes outside the limits of the city or city of refuge to which he has fled, and the avenger of blood finds him outside the city, the avenger of blood may kill the accused without being guilty of murder. The accused must stay in his city of refuge until the death of the high priest. Only after the death of the high priest may he return to his own property. These are to be the legal requirements for you throughout the generations to come, wherever you live. Anyone who kills a person is to be put to death as a murderer only on the testimony of witnesses. But no one is to be put to death on the testimony of only one witness. Do not accept a ransom for the life of a murderer who deserves to die. He must surely be put to death. Do not accept a ransom for anyone who has fled to a city of refuge, and so allow him to go back and live on his own land before the death of the high priest. Do not pollute the land where you are. Bloodshed pollutes the land, and atonement cannot be made for the land on which blood has been shed, except by the blood of the one who shed it. Do not defile the land where you live and where I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the Israelites. The family heads of the clans of Gilead, son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, who were from the clans of the descendants of Joseph, came and spoke before Moses and the leaders, the heads of the Israelite families. They said, "When the Lord commanded my Lord to give the land as an inheritance to the Israelites by lot, he ordered you to give the inheritance of our brother Zelophehad to his daughters. Now suppose they marry men from other Israelite tribes, then their inheritance will be taken from our ancestral inheritance and added to that of the tribe they marry into. And so part of the inheritance allotted to us will be taken away. When the year of Jubilee for the Israelites comes, their inheritance will be added to that of the tribe into which they marry, and the property will be taken from the tribal inheritance of our forefathers." Then, at the Lord's command, Moses gave this order to the Israelites: "What the tribe of the descendants of Joseph is saying is right. This is what the Lord commands for Zelophehad's daughters. They may marry anyone they please as long as they marry within the tribal clan of their father. No inheritance in Israel is to pass from tribe to tribe. For every Israelite shall keep the tribal land inherited from his forefathers. Every daughter who inherits land in any Israelite tribe must marry someone in her father's tribal clan, so that every Israelite will possess the inheritance of his fathers. No inheritance may pass from tribe to tribe, for each Israelite tribe is to keep the land it inherits. So Zelophehad's daughters did as the Lord commanded Moses. Zelophehad's daughters, Mahlah, Tirzah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Noah, married their cousins on their father's side. They married within the clans of the descendants of Manasseh, son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in their father's clan and tribe. These are the commands and regulations that the Lord gave through Moses to the Israelites on the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho. Deuteronomy. Ain't that right? We got Deuteronomy, huh? Yes, we're going to go to Deuteronomy tomorrow. This one's needy. I got home and decided to start reading instead of loving on her, so she's being very needy right now. So, thank you guys for coming. If you have anything you want to add, any questions, any prayer requests or anything, drop it down in the comments. Also, join us tomorrow for day number 55. We will be reading Deuteronomy's. I try to keep that light out of my glasses so you guys can see my face. Tomorrow is going to be Deuteronomy's chapter 1 through 4. So come back and join us. Deuteronomy is one of my favorite books of the Bible. I love it. It's so beautiful. At least the parts I've read. I have not read the whole book. So we will see how this goes. So as it stands right now, if you've been with us the whole time, we have read Genesis, Job, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and we're going into Deuteronomy. So we have read 5 full books of the Bible so far. Good job, you. Yay. All right, guys. Like I said, tomorrow's day number 55. Let's keep on going, keep on trucking. And yeah, hope you guys have a good night. And thanks for joining. Share it with everybody you know and come back tomorrow. Love you guys. Have a good night. Mwah. Bye.